host of Work in Progress, the personal productivity science insights podcast produced by LMSL. Usually I'm sitting in a big studio in front of a microphone with a guest opposite me where we discuss productivity and how to maximize our days to achieve our most productive self. However, this month we're doing things a little differently. If you've seen our most recent episode, you will have seen that I recapped all the incredible things that we've learned in the past 2 months from our 8 guests. This includes all the practices and habits that were recommended to us to implement in our daily lives. You'll also recall that I said I was actually going to implement one of these activities into my daily life. So throughout this series, you're going to see me learn more about sleep productivity. Sleep productivity was learnt about in episode 6, where I spoke to Dr. Nicole Moshfegh about how our sleep patterns can affect how productive we are during the day. So I am going to implement a daily sleep activity or multiple activities for a whole month. What this mainly will include is a sleep journal. I am going to answer 5 questions every day about my sleep patterns, as well as implementing other things such as a bedtime routine and avoiding technology before I go to sleep. But before we go any further, make sure you subscribe to our channel and go and check out our podcast, Work in Progress, to see more details about what I've learned about sleep productivity so far. Hi guys, so this is day 1, so I'm gonna be writing down how I slept last night. So I'm gonna be answering my 5 questions. My first question is, what time did I go to sleep? So I went to bed at about 11 p.m, which is pretty normal for me. It's quite late for when I'm at home in Queensland, but it's pretty normal, I guess. I woke up at 9 a.m. and that's pretty normal for me as well. Sometimes I can sleep the full 12 hours. I have to sleep a fair amount of time, in all honesty. If I sleep any less than about 8 hours, I go crazy. So I think I got a decent amount of sleep. And then I did wake up during the night. So I did wake up, which was not an enjoyable experience, and it did mean that I was a little groggy when I woke up. Before I went to sleep last night, I wasn't on my phone. That was not on purpose. That was just because my phone died. The only way I knew that I went to bed at about 11 was because I was watching TV with my mum. So I was engaging in technology. I hadn't implemented any kind of nighttime routine, but I did go and take a shower and do my skincare and then go to sleep. And I read a book before I went to sleep instead of getting on my phone because my phone was dead. So that helped. But I did wake up during the night. Besides that, I had a decent-ish sleep. And then I woke up this morning at 9 a.m. Didn't implement any kind of routine. So that's kind of just gives you sort of the basis and the foundation of what my daily kind of sleep routine looks like outside of what we're talking about. So hopefully that can kind of inform the future. So it's day 3 of my sleep routine. It is currently the afternoon. I just finished doing some meditation, and I thought this would be a good time to reflect on how the sleep pattern is currently going. So last night I went to sleep quite late. It was, I guess it wasn't that late. It was like 11:30, but you know, it was late. I was tired, and I remember in the episode when we were talking to Dr. Nicole Moshfegh, and she said, if you're not tired, then don't force yourself to go to sleep, which I thought was a really interesting concept. So I kind of ran with that. I was ready to go to bed. Well, I probably would have normally gone to bed at about 10:30, but I wasn't tired yet, so I stayed up and watched another episode of The Great British Bake Off, because why not? And I went to bed at like 11:30, so that was really interesting, and I hit the pillow and went to sleep immediately, which was really nice, and I slept all the way through. Didn't wake up until about 8 o'clock. So that was nice. A very consistent sleep, which I found. I didn't go on my phone. I was obviously watching television beforehand, but between finishing TV and actually going to sleep was about half an hour, which is why I went to sleep at about 11:30. But I didn't look at my phone because I left my phone in the kitchen, and by the time I got to my bed, I couldn't be bothered to actually go back and get it. So I think the indirect benefits of that definitely showed. I didn't wake up and go on my phone either, which I didn't do yesterday either because I was going straight out. So I just got up and went straight out. So I think there will definitely be long-term benefits to that, and I think I'm going to see that more so during the day, which will be great combined with the meditation, because I think not going on my phone when I wake up, and I did some research on this, and I've heard some things about how when you go on your phone first thing in the morning, it kind of is like something that your brain then craves throughout the day. So I definitely saw that today. I haven't really been on my phone, which has been great, and yesterday I wasn't really on my phone. I don't know if that's because I'm preoccupied with other things, but my time on my phone has definitely decreased, and we're only on day 3. So that's good, and my sleep is great. But I am at home at the moment. I'm in Queensland, like I already mentioned. So I'll be interested to see how this goes when I'm in Melbourne, because I find I do tend to sleep quite well here. When I am in Melbourne, I tend to have other issues, but that's because I live in Melbourne for working and studying, the two stressful elements of everybody's lives. So I'll be interested to see how my sleep patterns and routines will change when I go back to Melbourne in a couple of weeks' time. So I'm not sure if this series will be over by then, but it'll be interesting to see just for myself, to see the difference, because I tend to sleep quite well here because I'm not as stressed, which is ironic. But yeah, so that's my day 3 update. I lost my notepad somehow in the past 3 days. So yeah, so we're currently writing things down on my phone, which is not ideal, which means I do spend time on my phone. So I lost my notepad. So we're doing things on OneNote at the moment, which is great. But anyway, that's my day 3 updates. And then I'll see you for day 4 or 5. Let's see how my sleep goes tonight. I am going to try doing some reading tonight before I go to bed. At the moment, I haven't actually been doing anything before I go to bed, which has been great, because I do just go to sleep straight away, which is wonderful. So we'll see how I go, but that's day 3, and see you guys tomorrow. So it is day 5, which is pretty cool, of the sleep routine. I think this is definitely one of the easier practices that I could have done, primarily because it's not something that I have to plan to do, which is great. So I can just reflect on it sort of as it comes. Sleeping is one of those things that you do on a daily basis, so I don't have to worry about that, which is nice. As of last night's sleep was good. I was extremely tired because I had gone to a concert, and I'm still a little bit tired, so I didn't get home until about 12:30, so a bit later, and I didn't get to sleep until about 1, so definitely later than anticipated, but I still slept quite well. I wasn't feeling great, but I still slept quite well, so that was good. I woke up this morning quite lethargic. I actually woke up and then went back to sleep for another 2 hours, so not exactly my normal sleep routine, but I did get on my phone straight away, and I think that did release some sort of endorphins, because it was something that my brain was craving, was this, because I get up and I usually watch YouTube on my phone for about 15 minutes before I actually do anything. So that was interesting to see how, when I am really my most tired self, what my brain wants to do. So that was interesting, but yeah, not too bad of a sleep. Went to bed at about 12:30, woke up at 7, and then went back to sleep. and then I didn't wake up again until 10:15, which is really late for me. That used to not be that late for me, but recently my sleeping times have become a bit more consistent. So I'm trying to stick to that because I think it's good just for my energy levels, but I am still quite tired from last night. It is interesting to sort of see how my brain reacts to certain things, and it'll be interesting to see over the next couple of weeks because we're obviously coming into the holiday period. So there will be Christmas and New Year's Eve and Boxing Day, etc. So I'm very interested to see how my sleep routine is holding up at this point. I can't really say too much because it's been a pretty normal week of sleep, which has been nice. The night before, it was interesting. I think day 4, my sleep was not as consistent. I did wake up because it was really hot. And sometimes I just wake up just for the heck of it. So I did wake up because it was really hot, so I had to turn my fan on higher and just sort of roll around for a little bit. But besides that, it was okay. But when I do wake up during the night, it definitely disrupts my sleep and how I feel. So I can definitely notice that. And when I am actually tired when I go to bed, it does make a very big difference. So I'm interested to see how that goes over the next couple of weeks, so stay tuned. If you're interested, there is another channel that we have content going on if you're interested to see how these practices really go. So stay tuned for the next couple of weeks. It's going to be really interesting to see how my sleep pattern coincides with my other practices that I'm doing over on the other channels. So don't forget to like and subscribe for this video, and for this channel there will be videos coming out every week about how I'm going with our certain practices and what we're doing and if it's actually working. And if you're interested to know where this all originated, then you can go to the podcast that'll be linked in the description below, and you can pop on over to episode 8 with Dr. Nicole Moshfegh, where we talk about sleep productivity. And there are lots of other episodes as well on the podcast series that are related to productive things if you're interested. And there is also another channel and another podcast that I host. So if you're interested in resilience and bouncing back, then you can head on over to Bouncing Back at Spotify as well as YouTube and all those things. Don't forget to like and subscribe, and stay tuned for the next couple of weeks where we see whether or not my sleep becomes consistent. Bye guys.